Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the High School Blitz, sponsored by the Austin American-Statesman. We've got a pinch hitter with me today. It's Chris Bils, who knows actually a lot more about football than Thomas Jones ever will, but that's a whole different story.
That's not true at all.
That's not true, but you'll wing it.
I'll wing it, yeah.
You'll wing it. You're the ultimate pinch hitter. We always start off by giving out a game ball. We had great games this past weekend. Who's your game ball go to? Yeah, I'm going to go actually with a losing effort from Will Jennings from Westwood. Last high school game of his career, he goes out 28 of 57 for 350 yards, 5 touchdowns, also ran for 95 yards and a touchdown. I know they lose the game, but when you score 50 points as a quarterback, I don't know that you can really do much better in your last high school game throwing for 350 yards. Well, if he had played a little defense.
I know, yeah, maybe put him in at safety or something.
Put him in at safety. They needed a safety. I'm going to go with Prudencio Calderon, quarterback San Marcos. I know he's been our player of the week a few times, but he's the quarterback. He's not supposed to rush for 354 yards. He's not supposed to rush for 4 touchdowns. 75, 45, 50, and 84 yards. Down 29-0. They win 64-50 over Westwood. Prudencio Calderon gets my game ball. Yeah. Chris, what did you learn from the first weekend of the high school football playoffs?
I think one thing I learned, I was out, saw Stony Point versus Manor on Thursday night, and I thought the Tigers looked really good. They finished 3rd in that district, and I think it showed that the 13-6A, those teams that are still left, that being Hendrickson, Stony Point, and Cedar Ridge. I think those are all 3 teams to be reckoned with. I think those 3 were tested because they played each other, and I think they're all pretty good football teams, very good defenses.
Very good. I'm going to go with a different district, 19-5A. It's actually something I kind of already knew. 19-5A has been tough all year. Hutto, Cedar Park, Georgetown, they all went impressively. I wouldn't be surprised if all 3 of them went another round, or even more than another round. But Cedar Park, they've been banged up this year. They were a state contender before the season. It's going to be tough, but I'm still impressed with that district. Last but not least, what team in Central Texas has surprised you?
I think I'll stick in that 13-6A. Last year it was a little bit disappointing, I think, for teams like Stony Point, and even Hendrickson had a disappointing season. But sticking with the Tigers, this was the first time I saw them on Thursday night, and I thought that team looked really solid on both sides of the ball. I like what they're doing with their quarterbacks, with Donovan Rybacek and Zach Rangel. Rangel's the thrower, Rybacek's the runner. Kind of mixing those 2, and then the defense, 5 turnovers forced against Manor. Thought they looked really solid from top to bottom. It's going to be tough for them this week, but I think that's a good football team.
Absolutely. I'm going to go with Liberty Hill, my friends at Liberty Hill. They were not supposed to be a big-time contender in their tough district. They're in a very tough district that they came in 2nd place, 4-1 in 13-4A. They kept winning close games at the end by 2 points, 4 points, overtime. And one of the things that surprises me is they give up 35 points a game. You're not supposed to be winning football games when you give up 35 a game, but when your offense is averaging 48, I guess you're going to slip through a few times, and they've been slipping through a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that'll do us for this edition of the High School Blitz, looking back to the first weekend of the playoffs. Stick with us this week when we look forward to 4 extremely competitive games. Until then, for Chris Bils, I'm Rick Cantu, and as we like to say, we hope your favorite team wins.